Have you ever had that feeling that a company somehow knows what you're going to do next? Well, it's not magic, it's data analysis. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify how simple numbers and facts get turned into these powerful, real-world insights. Let's dive in.
You know what I'm talking about, right? An ad pops up for something you were literally just thinking about. Or Netflix serves up a movie recommendation that is just spookily accurate. It really feels like someone's reading your mind, but the truth is actually way more interesting. Exactly. By looking at patterns in what people buy, companies can make incredibly accurate predictions about major life events, like a pregnancy, or they can forecast which customers are getting ready to leave for a competitor. This is not just a lucky guess, it's a science. So let's break down exactly how it all works.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why any of this really matters. Then, we'll look at the two main ways we can see the world through data. We'll explore what data actually is, it's not what you think, and some common mistakes to avoid. And then, we'll wrap up by showing you how you can get started with a tool you probably already have on your computer.
Okay, so to really get this, you gotta understand that data analysis looks in two directions at once. It looks backward, into the past, and it looks forward, into the future. Let's break down these two sides of the coin. So, analytics really has two main flavors. The first one is called Descriptive Analytics. Think of this like being a historian for your data. It answers the question, what happened? It looks back at last year's sales to figure out what your best-selling products were. It's all about summarizing the past. The second flavor is Predictive Analytics. This is more like being a data fortune teller. It asks, what will happen? It uses all that history to build a model that can guess the future, like flagging which customers might be about to cancel their subscription so you can try to win them back.
Now, both of those approaches rely on one crucial thing, data. But what even is data? Because it's definitely not just numbers in a spreadsheet. It's the fundamental, raw ingredient for every single insight we hope to find.
So what even is data? At its core, it's just a collection of information. Facts, figures, values. Think of it like the raw ingredients for a recipe. By themselves, flour and eggs are just flour and eggs, but they're the absolute essential starting point for baking a cake, or in our case, for making a really smart decision.
And this is the cool part. So many things count as data. We usually think of the obvious stuff, like a 5-star rating. That's quantitative. Or a category, like someone's status is married. That's qualitative. But it's so much more than that. The actual text in a customer review is data. The timestamp on an email is data. Even the audio file of a song or the pixels in a photograph, yup, it is all data that can be analyzed.
So it's really easy to fall into the trap of thinking that more data is always better. But that's not quite right. See, how you handle your data is way more important than how much of it you have. Let's walk through a really simple example to see what I mean.
Okay, imagine you're trying to buy a book online. You do a quick search and you pull together this little table of data. You've got prices from 5 different websites. But there's a problem. You see it? One of them, Snapdeal, just says not available for the price.
Just looking at the numbers we have, you'd probably say 537.8, right? From books.rediff.com. But what do you do with that not available entry? This is where a super common and really dangerous mistake can happen.
See, a computer program that's trying to find the minimum price in that column might just automatically convert not available to the number 0. And if it does that, well, all of a sudden, it looks like Snapdeal is offering you the book for free. What a deal!
But of course, that's not true. The book isn't free, it's just not there. That one tiny technical choice, how to handle a missing value, completely flips the result of our analysis and gives us a totally wrong answer.
So, if we look closer with our human brains, we see the real story. That lowest price of $53.78, well, the book is out of stock, so that price is useless to us. The actual best deal is $55.94 from Amazon because it's the lowest price for a book that you can actually buy. See? Good analysis isn't just about crunching numbers, it's about understanding the context.
And that's just one kind of data trap. You also have to watch out for things like sampling bias. That's when you only survey people from one city, but you act like your results represent the whole country. And of course, simple typos can throw everything off. And then there are the really big ones, ethical concerns. We have to be so careful about protecting people's privacy and making sure data is used responsibly. Getting this stuff right is just as important as the math.
Okay, I know this might all be sounding a bit complicated, but here's the great news. You don't need to be a coding wizard or have some crazy expensive software to get started. Your first step into this world is probably much closer than you think.
That's right, Microsoft Excel.
Good old Excel. It is probably the single most widely used tool for basic data analysis on the entire planet. It's accessible, it's surprisingly powerful, and it is the perfect place to begin your journey.
Everything in Excel is built on this one simple idea: the cell. That's it. It's just a little box with a location, kind of like an address on a map. Cell A1 is in column A, row 1. And inside that box, you can put stuff: numbers, text, or most importantly, formulas.
Now this is where the real magic of a spreadsheet happens. Let's say in cell D2 you type in a formula equals B2 plus C2. Now watch what happens when you copy that formula and paste it over into cell G2. Excel doesn't just copy the text, it understands the relationship. It knows what you meant was add the two cells to my immediate left. So in its new home in G2, the formula automatically updates itself to become E2 plus F2. It maintains the logic. This simple adaptive idea is the foundation of almost everything you can do in a spreadsheet.
So here's the final thought I want to leave you with. That simple formula equals B2 plus C2 and a really complex artificial intelligence are, believe it or not, related. They are both just tools designed to answer a question. One is simple, one is incredibly complex, but both of them are completely useless until you give them a good question to answer. The real power isn't in the tool, it's in the curiosity that drives the question in the first place. So what question would you ask your data?